Hi, I'm Joe Sabatino, and gosh, I've been so fortunate to have a thriving show business career as well as being a public speaking coach and media trainer. And one big question I always get asked: what makes Behind the Talk different from every other public speaking coaching firm out there? Now, that's a great question. But you see, we take a performance approach to all public speaking engagements. Over the past 30 years, I started as a stand-up comic and then soon became an actor, amassing over 200 television and film credits. And while acting, I also became a television producer and writer. I sold my first television series, which aired on the USA Television Network and ran for 3 successful seasons. My lead actress, well, she was nominated for a Golden Globe, and we also won the Voice Award among many of the television show nominations. But storytelling is at the heart of success or failure in the entertainment industry and in corporate America. As you know, when you're streaming any television show or movie, if the show doesn't grab you within the first 15 to 30 seconds, what do? You immediately look to view something different. You, boom, check out. Well, guess what? If you don't grab your audience's attention within those first 15 to 30 seconds, they've checked out. And quite possibly you've become the cure for insomnia. Now, that's good for those who want to sleep. So whether you or your company need help eliminating the fear of speaking in public or whatever hinders you when public speaking, we fix that. Enjoy the rest of the presentation. I appreciate you and your time. Thank you.
He's still got his work uniform on, so let's see if anyone at Go Quick Towing knows how he wound up here.
Let's go.
He wasn't on the job, I can tell you that. We didn't have any pickups out that way, so I don't know what he was doing there.
Well, who would? Did he have any family?
He doesn't. He didn't even have a girl, I don't think.
Poor guy.
I don't know, I just can't get over it. Henry was my top driver. Just a real stand-up guy.
Even though he had a record.
So do I. There's not a lot of jobs out there for ex-cons. But Henry, he was out of the life. So I gave him a shot, and I never regretted it.
Did he have problems with anyone that you know of?
Oh, yeah. Henry got threatened every day.
He did? By whom?
All kinds of people. Waving bats, knives, guns, you name it.
Wait a minute, I thought that he was a tow truck driver.
Specializing in vehicle recovery.
Henry was a repo man.
And folks aren't that excited when we take their cars away.
So these threats that he got, did any of them ever come from an Asian woman?
Not that I can remember. But listen, detective. Some of the people we deal with are pissed off. But they made at the banks, not us. I mean, I can't believe anyone would hunt Henry down to kill him.
Still, we'll need a list of the repos.
Yeah, sure. Wait a minute. Maybe this has something to do with what happened yesterday at lunch.
What do you mean?
Well, he went out to lunch like he normally does, and when he came back, he was all shook up.
What about?
He wouldn't say. He left mid-shift without a word, and well, he left the yard, didn't come back. That was the last I ever saw him.
And where exactly did he go to lunch?
I don't know. But there was something else he did that was strange. My alarm guy told me that Henry was asking for access codes to a 2013 X5 a few days ago.
What was strange about that?
We don't have any 2013 X5s on our repo list.
Speaking to audiences large and small at various events, being interviewed on television, cable, or webcast, your training and insights took my communication skills to a whole new level. The ability to more effectively connect with and influence audiences was simply priceless. Your coaching was practical, it was confidence inspiring, and overall just a tremendous value. It's really like having a secret weapon.
For someone who's not amazing at speaking, starting as an engineer, Joe took my presentation skills from, practically nothing to far beyond my and certainly my company's expectations. He made me self-aware, and now I understand audience psychology, allowing me to engage, hold, and influence any audience I present to. Joe has delivered far beyond anything that I expected, and it's been awesome working with him.
Had Capiche not engaged Joe Sabatino to help us with my presentation skills and my ability to engage people and capture their attention, I don't think that the capital raising process that we're on right now would have been as smooth and successful as it has been to date. I wouldn't go as far as saying we might not have raised money. I think there's a risk of that. But I do think that it significantly increased our chances, and it gave us much more optionality when it came to who we wanted to work with and what paths we wanted to go down. And that's because we were able to progress so many of those first conversations into second and third conversations.
If I haven't engaged Joe, I wouldn't have done the sales that I needed to do. I wouldn't have hit the numbers that I need to do. My team wouldn't have been a high performance team. And quite frankly, we probably wouldn't have been able to be as successful during the COVID world, right? We needed to take some of this, Hollywood's a success for reasons, right? They market TVs, they market movies, they market shows like nobody else does, right? So we wouldn't have been as successful in the COVID world during the lockdown world. And without Joe, we wouldn't have hit our numbers and we wouldn't have been able to be successful.
Had I not engaged Joe and done all of this public speaking work with him, I would not have the brand and have the impact that I'm capable of having with clients and with the security community today.
Had I not worked with Joe Sabatino, I wouldn't be as confident as I am today.
Company that engaged Joe, we would be just another group of vendors pitching product with bland stories and not getting the meetings that we need to be getting to make our numbers.
Had I not been able to work with Joe Sabatino, I don't think I would have the confidence in presenting and just being comfortable. I think that's really key. I love to talk, but it's learning how to effectively communicate with somebody. And Joe really helped me understand how to connect with people versus just talking at someone.
So had I not had the opportunity to work with Joe, I wouldn't be smiling as much during my presentations. But I don't think I would have been as open-minded to realize that I can still sharpen my pencil. I can still make, adjustments to the way that I do things to become better. And the beautiful part of this is that if I hadn't met Joe, those lessons that I learned, that I took to heart, would not be affecting my day-to-day lives in a positive way like they are today. Whether it's work, whether it's professional, whether it's the person at the grocery store, it doesn't matter. That same attitude needs to come across, which is, I'm enthusiastic about life. I'm enthusiastic about what I'm selling. I'm enthusiastic about making your business better. I'm enthusiastic about making my relationship better.
So had I not had the opportunity to work with Joe Sabatino, my presentation skills, my ability to interact, especially in this remote world, would certainly not be as fine-tuned as they are today.
Had I not had the opportunity to work with Joe Sabatino, I wouldn't have known what I needed to get better at. I think that's really the best testament that I can give to working with Joe is if you think you're great at something and no one tells you, hey, you could be better at it, then you have no way to improve upon it. And in all my years working in SaaS sales, no one has ever told me that I have room to improve in my presentations. So you don't know what you don't know, and Joe helps you figure out what those things are.
So, what's your preparation before speaking? With actors, each time they get ready to work, they have a ritual that allows them to relax and focus on their given performance, whatever that may be. This ritual could be as simple and as short as breathing in and breathing out. Or it could be positive imagery, seeing themselves being successful in the given situation they're about to embark on. Or, as Matthew McConaughey is made so famous, the pounding of the chest and humming like so. Now, why Matthew does that is it allows him to relax and focus, but it also gives him the opportunity to find the vocal register of the character he's about to portray. So I ask, what's your ritual that allows you to relax and focus and also helps you create a winning mindset? Or do you just leave it up to chance and whatever mood you're in, well, that's what the audience gets? Because if professional actors find so much value here, shouldn't you? I mean, why leave anything up to chance? Okay, here's the million-dollar question. Have you ever had trouble connecting with your audience no matter what you tried? Yeah, it happens. Well, I'd like to share a couple of ideas with you to try the next time you find yourself in that very situation. Number one, science tells us people inherently want to be entertained. So the next time you're speaking, smile. Because audience psychology also states if your audience sees you having fun, generally they in turn will have fun. Number two, make eye contact. Why? It shows confidence. Actually look at individual members of your audience while you're speaking. And with each sentence or thought, hold your eyes on someone. Remember, an outstanding presentation, it's a conversation. Have a conversation with your audience, one person at a time. And number three, audience allies. It's these allies who will help you with your presentation. And you'll always recognize an ally during your presentation by observing who's smiling, who raises an eyebrow, nods, maybe even raises a hand. And during your presentation, befriend your allies. Simply ask a question of the group. Whoever raises their hand, call on them. Ask their name, discuss what you will, and then thank them with their name, because people love hearing their names. So remember, if you're having trouble connecting with your group, three simple things. Number one, smile. Number two, make eye contact. And number three, use your allies, because whether they know it or not, they're all there to help you.
It's a 7-inning game. Slaughter rule, max 8 runs per inning. A 24-run lead ends the game. You use Homelands.
I look at it this way as a performer. There's two personas that dwell inside of us.
He says he's sorry, boys. I believe this well-spoken lad is trying to bribe an officer of the law.
We have one which is called Frankie Fear.
I had no choice. Threatened my family. Said if I didn't go along with it, he'd kill them. What would you have done?
And Frankie Fear is the persona of, oh, I hope they like me. Oh, I hope I don't forget anything. Oh, I hope, this really resonates with the audience. I hope.
Not for nothing, I heard you were arrested.
Look, I'm looking for Freddy. You seen him?
It's funny, a lot of people are looking for that guy. A lot of cops especially. Didn't used to be a cop, Jake?
Frosty! Yeah, boss.
And then we have the other persona, which is Frankie Fearless.
Is there something I need to hear about what happened?
You're state police captain and you know the drill.
They got him on the ward at Bellevue with a bullet in his abdomen.
No, I hope he pulls through.
He will. But I'd like a word with Reagan.
And he comes on stage sort of like this. How you doing? What's going on?